This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Filipina tennis star Alex Eala embraces rising stardom as she faces Leylah Fernandez in Stuttgart Open opener. The NLEX Road Warriors rally late and pull away from the Macau Black Knights for their third straight win in the ongoing PBA Commissioner's Cup. Farmfresh stuns PLDT to stay alive in a PVL All-Filipino Conference semis behind the heroics of Trisha Tubu. The Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather rematch in doubt as deadline looms over contract dispute. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 14th of April. Now, here's our roundup brought to you by the Philippine Sports Commission, the Philippine Olympic Committee, and the NSD-IAC. Filipina tennis star Alex Eala is learning to balance global stardom with focus on the court as she prepares for her Stuttgart Open debut. Ayala will face Filipino-Canadian Leylah Fernandez in the first round of the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix later tonight in Stuttgart, Germany. In a sit-down interview with the WTA, the 20-year-old said, "Handling the loud and proud support of Filipino fans remains a challenge, but also a source of pride." Ayala emphasized the need for composure, saying that without hard work and a clear sense of self, it's easy to get lost in the attention that comes with her rising career. Despite the pressure, she said representing the Philippines on the world stage is something she fully embraces, crediting the country's strong sense of community and passion for sport. Now in her first full year on the WTA Tour, Ayala says staying grounded and grateful is key as she continues her rapid rise in international tennis. NLEX pulled away late to hand Macau another loss, 106-97 for its third straight win in the PBA Commissioner's Cup at the United Center. The Road Warriors started hot but lost momentum in the middle quarters, allowing the Black Knights to take control before storming back in the fourth. A 16-3 run capped by a Robert Bollick 3 gave NLEX a 90-81 lead with just over 7 minutes left, and they never looked back. Katie Lane led the way with 28 points, 18 rebounds, and 3 blocks, while Deshaun Winston added 24, including a clutch 4-point play to seal the win. Bollick nearly posted a triple-double with 17 points, 11 assists, and 7 rebounds. The victory lifts NLEX to 5-1, tied for second place with Phoenix in the standings. Rain or shines, Adrian Nocom has edged Barangay Ginebra rookie RJ Abarrientos to claim his second PBA Press Corps Player of the Week honor in the Commissioner's Cup. Nocom was recognized for the period of April 8 to 12 after leading the Elasto Painters to a franchise-best 6-0 start. He delivered a standout performance against San Miguel, scoring 21 points, including 10 in the fourth quarter, highlighted by 2 clutch 3-pointers to seal the win. Now, 2 nights later, during Gabe Norwood's jersey retirement game, Nocom provided key second quarter points to help beat Converge. Nocom averaged 14.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals, outshining Abarrientos, who also impressed in Ginebra's 2-0 week. Farmfresh has delivered one of the biggest upsets in the PVL All-Filipino Conference, stunning top contender PLDT to keep its finals hopes alive. The Foxies, who earlier lost at high-speed hitters in the same conference, turned the tables with a 4-set victory to improve to 1-1 in the semifinal round. Leading the charge was Trisha Tubu, who took over in crunch time and provided the scoring push Farmfresh needed to close out the match. The win marks a major turning point for the franchise, which is now pushing for its first ever PVL Finals appearance after breaking through to the semis for the first time this season. San Beda University has firmly dismissed rumors about a possible move to the UAP, calling the speculation nothing more than chismis na mabili. During his guesting at the PSA Forum, San Beda official attorney Jonas Cabochan clarified that there are no plans for the Red Lions to leave the NCAA. Cabochan said such talks usually surface when a team is doing well, but stressed that Beda remains fully committed as a founding member of the league. He also highlighted the school's role in building the NCAA's tradition, adding that their focus is on continuing competition and preparing to host NCAA season 102. Is Jalen Johnson in the radar of Tim Cone to be the next potential naturalized player of Gilas, Filipinas? Here's Zeus Valdez with the details.
Interest may be growing, but head coach Tim Cone made it clear the path for Jalen Johnson to Gilas, Filipinas is far from immediate. Discussions surrounding Johnson as a potential naturalized player have gained traction, especially with longtime mainstay Justin Brownlee entering the latter stage of his career. Johnson himself has expressed openness to the idea.
Hey, the opportunity presents itself for sure, why not?
Cone acknowledged the Rain or Shine's import strong credentials, particularly under Coach Sheng Yao.
He's an awesome player, and he's playing really, really well for Coach Yang. So it's someone we would think about, but it's a long process trying to naturalize.
Johnson has backed that up with production, including a dominant 35-point, 21-rebound performance, along with consistent all-around numbers this conference. But for Cone, performance alone is not enough.
It's a long process trying to naturalize players, so it's not something you can just jump into really quickly and say, we'll naturalize this guy and that guy and this guy and that guy. It's not that easy here with the government.
The Gilas program, he said, takes a more deliberate approach compared to other countries.
Some countries, you can naturalize quickly and easily, but it's not that easy here. And I'm happy it's not that easy. It should.
For now, Johnson remains a strong candidate in the eyes of many, but his path to Gilas will depend on a process that goes beyond his current form in the PBA. Meanwhile, Johnson and Rain or Shine return to action tomorrow as they face the Terrafirma Jig in the continuation of the Commissioner's Cup. Reporting for the Scorecard, I am Zeus Valdez, Billionaire News Channel.
The highly anticipated rematch between boxing legends Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao is now under serious threat, with a deadline set to finalize the fight terms. Pacquiao's camp has given Mayweather until the end of business on April 14 to honor the original agreement, which calls for a sanctioned professional bout. The issue stems from Mayweather's recent claims that the fight would be an exhibition, contradicting the signed contract between both sides. Pacquiao's team insists Mayweather is legally bound to the deal, warning of serious consequences if he fails to commit. Targeted for September in Las Vegas, the rematch is expected to be one of the biggest boxing events in years, but now hangs in the balance as negotiations continue. Now, if no agreement is reached before the deadline, Pacquiao's camp may explore legal options or shift focus to other potential opponents, but a final decision is expected within days. Tyson Fury has shared a stunning story from his early career, saying rival Anthony Joshua once hit him so hard he nearly felt the effects for a month. Recalling a 2010 sparring session, Fury said a young Joshua landed a clean right uppercut that caught him completely off guard. Fury admitted he initially underestimated Joshua, but was surprised by his power and speed inside the ring. The former heavyweight champion said that if his chin had been any weaker, he could have been seriously hurt by the shot. The revelation adds more intrigue to their long-standing rivalry, with talks of a blockbuster fight between the two British stars still on the horizon. The 2026 WNBA draft delivered star power, surprises, and controversy, headlined by UConn standout Azzi Fudd going #1 overall to the Dallas Wings. The draft also drew a star-studded crowd, signaling the league's continued rise in popularity and mainstream appeal. But one of the biggest storylines came from the Golden State Valkyries, who shocked observers by drafting LSU star Floyd Johnson, now to trade her immediately, actually, to Seattle in a move widely questioned by analysts. Meanwhile, the Seattle Storm emerged as one of the biggest winners, adding a high upside talent in Johnson as part of their ongoing rebuild. Gilas Pilipinas women's standout Vanessa De Jesus went undrafted in the 2026 WNBA draft, leaving the Filipina-American guard eligible to sign as a free agent with any team. Luka Doncic is set to rejoin the Los Angeles Lakers on Friday after seeking specialized treatment in Spain for his hamstring injury. The six-time All-Star received multiple injections to help speed up his recovery from a grade 2 strain. Doncic remains out for the rest of the regular season, but the team is hopeful for a playoff return. The Lakers are also without Austin Reeves, who is sidelined for several weeks with an oblique injury. Los Angeles heads into the playoffs as the 4th seed in the West, set to face the Houston Rockets in the opening round. Coming up next, with so many aspiring players still struggling to find opportunities, what specific gap in the basketball ecosystem must be solved to fill in those gaps? Former ASEAN Basketball League Chief Operating Officer Jericho Ilagan will join us later on live and discuss these issues when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. With so many aspiring players still struggling to find opportunities here in the Philippines, what key gaps in the local basketball ecosystem need to be addressed to help these aspiring players move forward? Joining us is the CEO of Alpha Sports Events and Management, Jericho Ilagan, live in the studio. Jericho, thank you so much for your time and welcome to the show.
Thanks again, Anton. Thanks for having me. It's an honor, man.
Yeah, I mean, the pleasure is all ours. And Jericho, the first time we spoke, pinuntahan kita sa Sukat at your facility, NLEX Sports, and you just started something big, especially for athletes who are still trying to realize their dream of making it big, playing in the PBA, the MPBL, or whatever league they aspire to be a part of. And now Athletes Unrivaled has grown so much. Before we talk about your latest venture, could you tell us about your experience with Athletes Unrivaled and, of course, their participation in Australia for Summer Jam?
Yeah, man. Since the last time we spoke, our academy has now grown from 40 players to about 114 players. We also have 26 players now who currently is in the MPBL or who's had MPBL experience. And apart from that, we've been able to help around 16 players who were formerly out of school youth kids to go to a university with a full scholarship.
Oh, that's awesome. And we're seeing one of your teams here go up against the Benilde Blazers. That's actually at the Benilde Blazers practice facility. Jericho, one of the players that I was able to cross paths with again during that visit of mine to Athletes Unrivaled was Homer Makatangay, who used to play for the JRU Heavy Bombers. I understand he was able to get an opportunity abroad. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, Homer was one of the players who was very fortunate to join us when we were invited to Melbourne, Australia for the Summer Jam. It's Australia's biggest street ball festival, biggest basketball festival rather. And we're Anton, eight of our players from the 10 players that we brought to Australia have never been on a plane.
Wow.
So the experience for them is just great. Besides the fact that we were able to experience the Summer Jam Festival, we were invited as well to other tournaments. So it goes to show that the hard work of our players are bearing fruit. Currently, we also have, I believe, 3 players in the current MPBL season. And also, some other invites. We're headed to Tokyo, Japan, to Brisbane in Australia, and another tournament in Bali as well. We've been invited to a 3x3 tournament in China, and to name a few.
And I'm sure a lot of athletes are very happy with the opportunity that you have provided. Dreams that they never thought were possible now being realized. Nakasakay na eroplano, nakapaglaro ng basketball outside of the Philippines. But you now have a new venture, the Pilipinas tournament, something very, very exciting. Could you tell us about this, Jericho?
Of course. You know, we've always been sports fans. We've always wondered how great it was to experience and watch the March Madness, the NCAA March Madness in the US. Or if you're a football aficionado, the England FA Cup. What we have is the question of what if the best teams in the Philippines come together, you know, for something similar to the NCAA March Madness, a single elimination format knockout. What if your team from Ayala, Alabang, for example, would join, you know. Any team that there is, there's 12 PBA teams, there's 8 UAAP teams, there's 10 NCAA teams, there's about 24 MPBL teams, and there's a bunch of other collegiate teams that play in other leagues apart from the NCAA and the UAAP. There's so many teams in Palawan and Cebu and Pampanga that offer all these opportunities to these players. Why not bring all of these teams together, you know, the best 64 teams in the Philippines? Irrelevant if, you know, you're a foreign student athlete that plays for, we all know how many players Coach Tab has that hasn't played in the UAAP. How many residency players are there in LaSalle? How many foreign student athletes are there in the Philippines? How many alumni leagues are there? To come up with a team, to know if you're the best in the Philippines. I mean, and we're offering ₱1 million championship prize, Anton.
And this is open to collegiate teams, pro teams?
Open to any team. If you think you're the best in the Philippines, why not try out the Filipinas tournament? We can't reveal who will be in the tournament before our bracket draw, which will happen towards the end of April.
Okay.
But imagine an ex-pro team who likes motorcycles and a team composed of players who've played in Spain in an international competition called the World Cup. And then a team of foreign student athletes come together. I mean,
so
imagine,
pwede yun. Foreign student athletes or foreign athletes just coming together, no foreign limit?
No foreign limit. This is, I think, the most open tournament ever in the Philippines. No restrictions. Group yourselves together in 15, 12 of you play, and then we'll see who comes out the best.
Wow, that's insane. So at the end of the month, you're going to have your draw.
Yes, at the end of the month, we're going to have our draw.
64 teams?
64 teams. The first round, the round of 64, is happening on May 1st, May 2nd, and May 3rd. And then the week after that, we're continuing on with the round of 32, and then the Sweet 16, and then the Elite 8, and then the Final 4, and then the championships. And then we'll crown, you know, a champion, and then award the ₱1 million. We're also giving out 100,000 pesos to the MVP of the tournament.
Okay.
100,000 to the defensive player of the tournament, and then 25,000 each of the members for the first team of the tournament, and then the first defensive team of the tournament also gets 25,000 each.
So there's incentive to go hard as a player because there are individual awards as well with prize money.
Yes, Anton. I mean, it's the very first tournament in the Philippines where everyone can join. Anyone can join. If you're a player in the B League in Japan or the KBL and you know you're not playing in any league, you know, Malupitan has a team or Kong TV has a team. You know.
They can join. I mean, if they want that smoke, they can join and participate.
If they think they're the best in the Philippines, you know, why not come out and prove it to the rest of the world? I mean, to the rest of the country.
Wow, how did you come up with this idea? I mean, this is a very ambitious idea of bringing the best 64 teams. And I'm sure you have some teams already who have been signaling their interest, but you can't reveal yet.
Not yet, until our bracket draw. It's just, you know, dreams of a basketball fan. trying to see the best basketball that we can have. I mean, you know, there's nothing like that we have in the Philippines now. Sure, we have the PBA. You know, sure, we have the UAP, the NCAA. But what if we put them all together? You know, single knockout, one game. Your best 12 players against my 12 best players, one game. Who will win?
So the tournament will start May and it will run until?
Until the end of May.
So,
It's
wow, one
month every year.
One
That's our
month.
plan.
And then for that 1 million prize.
Correct.
All right. Jericho, before we close our interview, you've been doing this for a long time, making an impact with basketball here in the Philippines and in the region. You've done this with the ASEAN Basketball League. Now you're continuing to do this with of course Athletes Unrivaled and now the Pilipinas tournament. Your brother used to be the commissioner of the UAAP, Jensen Ilagan. What is your message to anybody who wants to be like a trailblazer and make a positive impact like you did with so many of your athletes with Athletes Unrivaled?
I guess we just want to be, you know, good examples of how we can help people. At the end of the day, you know, if I can't fulfill my dreams, maybe my dream is to fulfill someone else's. You know.
Well, there you have it. You heard it from one of the founders of the Pilipinas tournament, Jericho Ilagan, the CEO of Alpha Sports Events and Management. Jericho, thank you so much for the time.
Appreciate
and
it.
looking forward to tuning in to the Pilipinas tournament.
Thanks, Don.
And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport on the Billionaire News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.
You're ready.